Hi, my name is Chris and I've been busy with hydroponics the last couple of years. I always had a garden, or at least tried to have a garden, permaculture one, and since we moved to an urban location in London we weren't able to have one, and my idea was to make an internal hydroponic system which I could use to grow our own veggies at least. So that's how I came up with the solution I showed you today. So there are a couple of standard problems with hydroponic systems I tried to address. First and foremost was the inability to use organic fertilizer. Because hydroponic systems usually don't have good aeration, the water becomes stale and the solution starts to stink really bad if there's anything organic in. So that's one of the issues that is very common. Second one is, again, because of water being stale, water needs to be changed, flushed out and refilled every 2 weeks, which increases the cost quite drastically, and it's not really worth having a system like that in-house. And finally, the third reason is hydroponic systems are normally very sensitive for chlorine, for other chemicals which can affect plant growth. Which is also something I tried to address. So my system uses normal tap water. There is no need to adjust pH level at any time. You just fill it up every 2 weeks, add nutrients in the specified amount, and you're set to go. So for now I had great success growing leafy greens. There's one Swiss chard pillar with 18 plants. There's one spinach pillar with 18 plants. And this year I also started growing strawberries with great success. There is again 18 plants of strawberries. They're doing really well, started blooming, and they're very happy. I'm using organic fertilizer all around, and the growth has been impressive. So we have been growing around 1 kilo of leafy greens per tower every 2 weeks, or 1 kilo per week in total, which is quite usable. We use it to make smoothies, we use it to make dishes, etc. So that's very nice. And of course the strawberries, when they start going out, that should be interesting to see how much fruit we get, but so far the flowering has been amazing. I also plan to grow tomatoes, peppers and cucumbers this year, and started to set the system up for herbs, like a herbal spiral, and blueberries. I want to try to grow blueberries, which is a bit different than everything else, which has new growth. It has green stems, but blueberries are proper wooden perennials, and would be interesting to see how they grow. In future experiments I'll be doing stuff with possibly potatoes. I want to see if I can grow potatoes in a similar system, and some other more nutritive crops, just to see if a system like this can be used for this purpose as well. So each of these pillars, having 18 plants, would take around 6 meters square in the garden if it was laid flat. So 18 plants would take maybe 6 meters squared, meaning that the space saving is huge by using vertical systems. These 3 pillars would be almost 20 meters squared of a garden area, which is something not many people have in urban environments. In addition, the amount of produce that gets produced would, in the end, after a year, save us around 400 to 500 pounds in the supermarket, which is quite usable. I will take you through all of the components of the system, how they're made, how they're used, and how they assemble into a complete system. The emphasis was always on food safety. I didn't want any chemicals contaminating the water, and tried to make it so that everything is natural, non-toxic, and very durable. Some of the components have been 3D printed, designed in 3D printed, which seemed like the most convenient thing to do, and that might be the only the issue everyone might have when assembling the system, but you can find all the files in a downloadable format in the description of the video. So you can, if you have someone with a 3D printer, you can just go there and ask them to print it, or alternatively you can ask me to do it for you and ship them with a reasonable So I strongly encourage everyone to try to build this on their own, but if for some reason you're not able to, you don't have any space or tools, I'll also be selling these complete sets for you to assemble at home. These systems are quite affordable to build, and I would encourage everyone to do so. Obviously, we live in great uncertainty, and some basic crops everyone can have at home. They can use organic nutrients, they can use compost tea, they can use any source of nutrients, plant nutrients they have available to grow their own food, which is a huge advantage and definitely worth giving it a go.